Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Out There with Kim podcast. My name is Kim Dixon, and I'm very excited to bring you today's special episode. But first, I just want to let you know what we do here at Out There with Kim. I like to go around and go out there to find the most interesting stories, activities, and events in Central Kentucky. So today, our very special guest is April Schultz. April is with the Madison County Public Library. April, hey!
Hi!
Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to talk about one of my favorite subjects, libraries.
One of mine, too. Good thing since I do it for a living.
April, what is your title at the Madison County Public Library?
I am the Public Relations Manager at the Madison County Public Library. I work for the entire library system.
Oh, wow. So that means you do a lot of outreach then, and
Yes.
a lot of talking and a lot of promotion for the Madison
Yes.
County Public Library. MCPL, is that what you call it?
Yeah, that's our in-house abbreviation.
I kind of feel fancy saying that now. So you all have at least two branches, correct? You're in
Yes.
Richmond and you're also in Berea.
Yes, and then we also consider our bookmobile almost a branch as well because we take it out for pop-up libraries and that kind of thing.
And you serve a lot of people with that bookmobile, am I
we
correct?
do, yes, very much.
Libraries do so many different things now. Bookmobiles, now those have been around since I was younger. And I remember when the bookmobile would come down the street, you know, because it was scheduled, but and all the kids come out running. And actually, when my mom was sick, the bookmobile was scheduled to come out to her.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that things like that could happen, that the library could make such personal requests.
Absolutely, yeah. You can absolutely request a home visit. But you know, bookmobiles go back even further than when we were kids. The origin of bookmobiles goes back to the pack horse librarians that would go out into Eastern Kentucky.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious, yeah.
Oh my, that's amazing. So they traveled with just...
Yes, there was a project. I believe it was supported by Eleanor Roosevelt. I might be wrong about that, but it was actually an initiative to get out into the mountains of Eastern Kentucky, and not just Eastern Kentucky, but Appalachia as well.
Sure.
And these women were hired to do this. They would load up horses, often leaving their families for a week at a time, and take these books out into the mountains.
That is amazing. Can you imagine?
I cannot.
Seeing that horse carriage coming up with all this. How exciting, because, you know, physical geography can really make a difference in accessibility to education.
Absolutely.
It makes a real difference. So I'm sure that those bookmobiles were such a welcome thing when you would see that bookmobile pulling up. That's amazing. And I just think it's so cool that something like that has continued.
Yeah, it is really amazing.
You know, it speaks to the power of the longevity of what libraries do.
It really
and
does.
that's something I wanted to touch on a little bit today. Libraries are doing so many different things. It's not just about books anymore. I remember when I was little, you go to the library, you check out books, you get to sit at a table and you get to play around a little bit, and then you take your books and you go home. And that was about it. Not that that was a bad thing. That was incredible as a kid. But libraries are evolving. You all just opened another maker space in
we call it our creative studio.
Okay.
But it is essentially a maker space.
Gotcha.
We actually have a maker space and digital studio in our Richmond location.
Okay.
And then what we just opened was actually our Joan Klein creative studio in our Berea location.
That's amazing. Now, you have two of these creative spaces.
We do.
And so they overlap a little bit. We were discussing this earlier, but they also do different things, including a studio.
Yeah. Our Berea location has a sound studio, like a sound booth, like what we are in.
Here at the Lexington
much
Public
smaller.
Library.
Ours is much smaller than this, but yeah, it absolutely. And for our grand opening, I actually stepped in there and sang a little song just so that they could get a demo of it.
How cool.
But yeah.
That's going to open up so many opportunities for creative endeavors for so many people.
Yeah.
It's not easy to purchase all the equipment that you need to do something like a podcast like we're doing right now. And these spaces make it accessible for everyone.
Absolutely.
And I love that because creativity knows no bounds.
Absolutely. And you're talking about accessibility. It removes so many barriers, but the financial one is the biggest part of it because you're right. Buying all of the equipment to do something like just recording what we're doing right now is astronomically expensive. I mean, if it costs $500, if you don't have it, even if it's $5, it might as well be $5 million.
Exactly.
If you don't have it. And people can come into the library, they can go into those creative spaces, they can learn to sew, they can learn how to use a 3D printer, they can use a large format printer, the laser cutter, all sorts of different things.
That is so cool because those are things that, if you don't have a family member that does something like that, you're not going to get an opportunity to do it. How many people these days have a sewing machine anymore? I mean,
I have
actually,
one.
April, you might have a sewing
I have
machine.
one, but I can't tell you the last time I used it.
And that's so, and because it's the library, there are people to offer instruction. Is that correct?
Yes,
And to
there
help out
are.
and to learn things too. So, April, libraries are evolving and at a pretty fast pace now with all the things that libraries do. Can you tell me a little bit about what libraries do? I mean, in addition to the books, that's kind of an obvious thing.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit more.
Well, we provide programs for all ages. We provide access to information. We enable community connection, and we are focusing on literacy, but in all different types.
Right. And
yeah.
you focus on education and literacy.
Yes.
April, it's so refreshing to see these things. And something that we don't think about a lot as adults is that libraries offer things for adults.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I thought libraries were all, even as a young adult, I thought libraries are designed to check out books and to work with children. Mm-hmm. And, here in Lexington, I see all different kinds of courses that are being offered. English as a second language, sewing like we just talked about, all these different things, book clubs for adults. And I mean, it's really cool, and I think it's something that we don't know a lot about. So before we go any further, I want to talk a little bit about how we can find out more information about your library.
Okay, about the Madison County Public Library, our website is madisonlibrary.org.
Okay.
We are, of course, on Facebook.
Yes.
And make sure that you have our actual logo. There's a lot of Madison County Public Libraries out there.
Understood. What does your logo look like?
It looks like a sun above a book and then two hills underneath it.
And
so it's kind of like in like a pill shape almost.
Oh, okay, I get
Yeah.
it. So you just go to social media, you look you all up on Facebook, and then go through the information to make sure you've got the correct
obviously,
public
yeah.
library. Yeah. And
Every now and then I get a message from somebody asking about a program, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Are you looking for the one in Kentucky?
that can get a little confusing,
Yes.
I imagine. April, can you tell us about some of the specifics that are going on at the Madison County Public Library upcoming? It's fall. There's so
Yes.
much going on. Tell us a little bit
We
about
are
it.
very excited. We are gearing up for fall. Of course, before we get there, we are gearing up for our Madison Book Fest.
Oh, cool.
Which is coming up on September 28th. We're really excited about
Ooh,
this.
that's really soon.
It is very soon. We have 30 authors who are coming from all over Kentucky, and we even have one who is coming from Georgia. She was at our Book Fest last year and is coming back again this year.
Okay, so this isn't like a book fair what I'm thinking when I was a kid, where I would go and there were tables set up with all the books sitting out. You all have people coming in.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So you can actually meet the authors and talk with them, discuss their books, discuss all kinds of different things. I actually moderated some of the panels last year, and there were some really great discussions.
So there's panels and everything. This is almost like a con.
It almost.
Yeah.
We're not quite to that level. We have a workshop in the morning led by Brandon Thompson about ecstatic poetry. He's a poet.
Oh, cool.
And then we have a session in the afternoon, which is a conversation with Hydra Publishing, who is coming to talk about the process of getting your book published.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's not just about books that already exist.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that people can attend to learn about the process of publishing a book.
And then they can, of course, also meet the authors, purchase their books, that sort of thing. I have my budget already set for this year.
Now, April, is this a full day event?
It is from 10 to 4.
Okay, 10 to 4.
It's
And we
from 10
can
to
learn more about this on your website.
Absolutely. You can learn on our
Perfect.
website, which is madisonlibrary.org.
Fantastic.
And then, of course, we're on Facebook, and then we're on Instagram as well, which is at MCPLGram.
Perfect. And a general search could probably find that information. And it's
be able to.
probably on your website as well.
It's down at the bottom.
Websites, amazing how they provide so much information.
It really is.
So, April, I want to talk a little bit about also some other things that you offer at the library.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you teach classes both for children and for adults?
We have classes and events happening for all ages all the time. We have, of course, our regular programs for children. We have, baby and toddler time, story time. We have read and play, which happens at our Berea location. Okay. We've even recently started one that is...
we are checking our handy-dandy newsletter right now.
Because I brought that, because I prepared. It is called Peaceful Play, which is something that we started for children who might get overstimulated in a regular story time, really want to have that experience.
That is so important to look at those different types of things.
Absolutely.
Because all children deserve to have story time.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
So we've got that. We have crafts for kids. So a lot of people focus on kids programs.
Right.
And that's great and that's wonderful. But we also have a ton of really great adult programs. We actually just did a Jane Austen tea party and they dressed up.
Like Bridgerton style and all
Bridgerton style. They showed Pride and Prejudice, the 2006 version.
Of course.
And we had a lot of fun with that.
That's a lot of fun. So it's not just going to the library to study and learn things. You can go to have a great time, too.
You can. I mean, of course, you can come and study and learn things. But yeah, we also have adult education classes. We have, oh mercy, how many book clubs do we have? I think we had 6 at last count.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We have Telltale Book Club, which is one where they get together and when they meet, they have adoptable pets that come in. Oh my God, they had kittens the other day. It was so cute.
Oh no, I'm such a sucker for kittens.
Yes, oh me too. I have 3 now.
Oh dear, April, one more cat and you'll be like me. I've got 4 cats.
Yeah.
And it's an adventure to have a lot of cats.
I told my son he's at his limit. He cannot bring any more.
No more cats.
No more. No more pets, period.
No more
pets. We're done. We're maxed. We have a Just Love Book Club, which actually meets at a location in Berea. It's like a coffee shop.
Oh, cool.
So it's off-site. And then we have a Pick of the Month Club. We have a Forever Young Adult Club. And then we have like a Tasty Tuesday book club that meets at the Tasty Tuesday thing that they do at Irvin McDowell Park in Richmond.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
Libraries do so many incredible things. Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned young adults. Do you have programming for teens as well?
We absolutely do. We have a really great teen program, and some of them are actually really quite active. Teens are hard to reach sometimes.
Yeah, your programming has to be pretty specific, and you really have to think about all that kind of stuff.
You really do.
Put a lot of thought and effort into it.
One of the ones that they do that is almost always maxed out is a Teen D&D Open Table.
Oh, well, of course.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. They also have Creatology, which focuses on arts and science meeting together.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so they're doing like flash fiction. They're learning to make chocolate fudge.
I want to learn to make chocolate fudge.
I just want to eat the fudge. They learn to make paper. They're doing cooking classes. They've got all kinds of different things. But then they also have ways for teens to come in and get their community service hours as well.
Oh, wow. That's a fantastic opportunity as well.
So we have like our teen advisory group where they're able to come in, and during that time they're able to meet with their peers, of course, but they're also learning about volunteer opportunities at the library for that specific age group. They are helping out with preparing programs and different things for the kids, like all kinds of stuff, and they're getting their community service hours.
And it sounds like these are pretty popular programs as well.
Yeah, they're pretty popular.
That's fantastic. So I'm guessing a lot of these happen during the school year, but after school hours.
Absolutely. Most of them are like 4 to 5, 5 to 6.
Okay. That's a really convenient time because then it's just before dinner. You have time to get home and do some homework, which sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, that's one of the best things about being an adult, I've got to say, is there's a lot less homework.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can read for fun now.
See, that's the thing. And you've been with the library for how many years now?
Coming up on 13 years.
So you've seen all these changes happening.
Oh, mercy, yes.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Libraries to me are almost meeting spaces.
We actually, we absolutely are. We have a lot of meeting spaces at our Richmond location. We just finished, well, I say just finished, it was 2019. With COVID, it feels like it was just finished.
Totally.
But we finished a renovation which expanded our Richmond location, doubling our floor space and adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different meeting rooms.
So those can be booked out or rented out?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. There's no charge for them.
Okay.
Unless there's a few specific conditions that have to be met that
Sure.
where there would be a charge, like a cleaning charge.
Oh, I see.
Or security if it's going to be outside of our library hours.
I
that
understand.
kind of thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
But they're free to use. They can't be for like a birthday party or a private event like that.
Sure.
But you can absolutely use them for trainings and things like that.
Right.
The other day I pulled up to work and I went to go park and there was no parking spaces. And I was like, where am I going to park? And I was like, what is happening?
What's going on?
And I realized we had, I think, 3 different trainings going on in the building.
Oh, wow.
Plus a program happening at the same time.
What an amazing thing for a nonprofit group who might not have their own space to meet.
Absolutely, yeah. I've used it myself as a non-library employee to have meetings. And, well, I mean, we had rehearsals there
That's
when we
right.
were doing Love, Loss, and What I Wore together.
April and I are both actors as well, so we've
Yeah.
been in a show together, and I do remember that. We were there
Yeah.
at the Madison County Public, and that place was huge then,
Yes.
and you've...
No, that was after the expansion.
I have no idea what year it is. That's part of the problem. You know, that show, that happened on the cusp of COVID.
Mm-hmm. We closed because of COVID.
We did. Did we get all our performances in?
We got 2.
That's right. That's right.
We got
that was
2 of the 6 that were planned.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I remember when we were told that a basketball game had been canceled. I think it was a basketball game had
we
been
were
canceled.
in final dress.
Yeah, and a basketball game had been canceled because we discovered that it spread in crowds really easily. And I remember that sinking feeling that everything's about to change. But we have come out of that time, and in a lot of ways, I think I'm a stronger person as a result from that. It was a really difficult time.
Yeah.
And I learned about a lot of strengths that I had that I didn't know that I had before.
Yeah,
And
or strengths that I needed that I didn't even know about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that that it was an easy time or that there were good things about it, but I did learn a lot about myself in that time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And there were so many changes that had to be made. Were you all able to stay open during that time period?
Yes and no.
Right. A lot of people were making kind of hybrid plans.
We never fully closed our doors in that staff was always reported. We had that big space, so we ended up expanding out into the space, and people were working all over the building.
I see. Okay.
But as far as the public coming in, we did close our doors to the public, but we were providing curbside service. And people could call in and basically get personalized library service.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine that was so helpful for so many people to be able to have that resource.
Absolutely. There was one thing that I kept hearing during all of that time is, I'm so thankful for this. Thank you for being open. Thank you for being, providing this service.
That just goes to show that was something that was extremely important during that time for people to get that enrichment that we weren't able to get. I mean, so many of us were at home. You ran out of things to do eventually at home. I mean, I didn't fully clean my house, but that's probably never going to happen no matter what. But it was a time.
It was a time.
It was a time. And speaking of times,
okay,
we are going to go on now to one of my favorite parts. Now, granted, this is episode 2, so favorite might not be the best word, but we are going to play 10 things. And I have come up with some questions that kind of made me laugh a little bit, so hopefully you'll find them amusing too. So,
Alrighty.
April, are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
10 things. Number 1, gold or silver?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. We're going to leave that one.
I'm literally wearing both.
You are wearing both, so yes is a valid answer. Okay, April, you have naturally wavy hair, and I do not, so I'm always fascinated by this thing. Number 2, blow dryer or straightening iron?
Straightener. No. Why did I say straightener? Blow dryer.
Blow dryer is the best. Have you ever used a straightening iron
Yes,
before?
I do have one.
Those things look terrifying to me.
They're really, really great, but I tend to find that I'm lazy. And
it looks like a workout.
It is. I did not do this.
Your hair is gorgeous today. You've
Thank
always
you.
had gorgeous hair. That's the reason for that question is your gorgeous mane there. But number 3, brunch or fancy dinner?
Depends on the day. It really does. Depends on the day. I am not indecisive at all. Yes, I am. But it does depend on the day.
Well,
Today, I would probably say brunch.
There you go. There you go. Some eggs and bakey sound pretty good to me right now, too. Number 4, fall or spring?
I would always say fall, but we just moved into this new house, And so I'm really excited for spring to see what it looks like when everything is blooming.
There you go.
And just to see, I
you
don't know.
garden some, don't you?
I do. Well, okay. I buy plants. Tom gardens.
Hey, it's a group effort. It gets done, right?
It
There
is.
you go. Okay, moving on. While you're quite a bit younger than me, I think you will get the joke in this one. Number 5, paper or plastic?
Depends on what it's for. If it's a
Okay.
straw, I want plastic. Actually, or glass or metal or something like that.
Gotcha.
Not paper.
Gotcha.
But if I'm getting like a bag at a store, give me paper.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. As long as it's got a handle.
What about pokey things that are in the bag? Like, you're getting some, I don't know, kebab skewers or something, or there's a pointy box. I like a paper bag for that because I'm that
Yeah.
person where everything splits out of the bag.
Yeah,
and then I
that's
pull it, and then
fair.
it just
That's-
everything falls apart. It's very Kim. All right, we're talking vacations now. Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Okay, I get that. Yeah. That's one thing we don't have here in Kentucky. I keep moving to landlocked
Yeah.
states, and so there's never a beach. So I get it. Okay, now this one,
Okay.
librarian.
Okay.
Physical books or ebooks?
Audiobooks.
Whoa, I left something out
You
there.
did.
Oh my gosh.
I am almost exclusively audiobooks because I have ADHD and I have a very hard time doing just one thing at a time. And there's always, especially moving into a new house, there's always something that needs to be done.
Right.
And so I can put it on an audiobook and listen to that and still do things.
Oh wow! See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. There is people keep saying that I might be ADHD, and I don't know. I kind of don't want to know. But for me, that's why I can't listen to audiobooks.
Really?
I can't pay attention.
Oh,
What's
that's fair.
I wonder. So I have to have either. I like a Kindle because then I can take
Mm-hmm.
all my books with me all the time because I'm
Yeah.
that person, and so I have to physically read something or I will get distracted. Ugh.
Yeah. For me, it actually gives me. I always have to have like something in the background.
I gotcha.
Music,
Something
TV,
to focus on.
something to give that other part of my
love
brain
that.
something to focus on.
Audiobooks are so popular.
Absolutely. Now, granted, I will say if I'm writing something, like say I'm writing copy for something,
Mm-hmm.
I can't have the audiobook playing. I have to just focus on
Gotcha.
that.
That makes sense.
But like if I'm doing something like loading the dishwasher or doing
Right.
laundry, something that
something more
doesn't-
mundane. Yeah.
that's not going to take the main part of my focus, then give me an audiobook.
Maybe that's my problem is that I'm trying to write things and listen at yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, we got to revamp this a little bit. Okay, now we're getting toward the end. We are at number 8. Apple or Samsung?
I'm a new Apple convert.
Really?
I am.
I don't hear that a lot because most of the Android people that I know, they're obsessed with the phone, the camera on the phone.
Yeah.
That's always what it's about.
I will say I do love that. I wish
so
I had that.
what shoved you into the iPhone world?
Well, my computer at work is a Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I have an iPad also for work. And it just kind of became
they all play nice.
they all
together.
play really, really nicely together. And so then I needed a new phone. We got a new plan, and they were like, "Hey, you can get this iPhone." I'm like, "Well,
Okay, here we
okay,
go.
let's get
Well,
it." And I do love it.
I'm so glad that you joined the blue text bubble people. It's so much easier. I love that. I'm just gonna text you today, okay?
Okay,
Just all
please
day. Number 9, skirts or dresses?
I do love long dresses.
You look good in a long dress too.
Thank you.
See, I've got this long torso, so skirts often work out better for me because the dresses don't. It's all
Yeah.
weird.
See,
and-
my torso is super short. I'm all leg.
we are
so
all-
give me
yeah.
a long dress.
Yeah, I'm all torso, just little stubby legs. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Okay, this is a really interesting one, and I think
Okay.
this is something that I'm going to start asking all of my guests. So you
Okay.
are number 1,
All right.
and you can't give me a third answer on this one.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and this is no judgment on anything, but solo vacation or big. I'm not talking like a nuclear family vacation. I'm talking like everyone. So solo vacation or big family vacation.
I've never been on a solo vacation, so I don't know.
Ooh, April, I've got to tell you, I've been on a solo vacation. I recommend it for everyone. I love going on vacation with my husband, and we love to do fun things, but there's something about not having to say, which would you rather do today? Or are you ready to go? You just do whatever you want. I did that in Chicago, and it was the most liberating thing I have ever done in my life. I loved it. I don't think my husband Adam loved it so much. He's like, why do you want to do that? But when I came back and I explained all the things, he said, I get it now. I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's something that I think everyone should do once in their life.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if you just drive down to Nashville or something like that, it's good to treat yourself that way. It's a lot of fun.
We don't speak of Nashville at our house. And the reason for this is there's nothing against Nashville. Is every time we've tried to go, something has happened and we've not made it.
Like you literally didn't make it?
Like literally something happened and the car messed up and we couldn't go. Something else happened and I got sick. There was one time we got COVID. Literally.
So we're talking at least 3 separate incidents.
At least 3 separate incidences. So we refer to Nashville as the city that shall not be named because we're afraid we're going to scare it away. We still want to go.
Understood. It's a really cool place. You've got to check out the Botanical Gardens at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. But this is the thing hanging above your all's heads.
Yes.
Whoa. You're not supposed to. The time will happen,
It
April,
will.
but apparently it's not been that time.
It has not. Okay, so we love the show Somebody Feed Phil. We absolutely love the show. And so one of the places that he visited was Nashville. And so we wanted to go at Christmas so that we could see the lights and see the ice sculptures and then go and visit some of we call it like a Phil vacation. And so go and try some of the different places that he tried on the show.
Oh, that's cool.
And I even bought us T-shirts because we were going for Christmas. And that was the year we got COVID.
So you had big things
We
planned.
had plans. We were going.
It wasn't just let's go and see what happens.
No, it was let's go. We're going to start here. We're going to eat here. We're going to do this. We want to go see this on this day. Yeah.
So were these vacations with your husband, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that could be the problem?
So I need to go solo. That's what it is. Sorry, honey, you're out.
I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying we've got to look at all these comments.
Maybe.
Well, that is something that I want to leave with you today is
Okay.
the thought of maybe a solo trip to vacation to Nashville.
Maybe.
And all of you out there listening today, maybe you should take a solo vacation to Nashville too, and you can tell me all about it. In fact, you can give me a call and leave a voicemail on my dedicated Out There with Kim number. You can leave a text message, that number, to let me know if you're going on vacation to Nashville by yourself. Is 859-444-4524. So, April, one more time before we go. Can you please tell me your website and how we can find you on social media?
Okay, our website is madisonlibrary.org, and you can find us on social media. I mean, just search Madison County Public Library. Just make sure it's the one in Kentucky.
Perfect.
And then also on Instagram, we are MCPLgram. We also have our logo as the icon there.
Wonderful. You all have to check out all this wonderful stuff happening at the Madison County Public Library. And speaking of libraries, I'd like to do a shout out to the Lexington Public Library Northside Branch. We are currently in their digital studio right now. And this is your tax dollars at work. Come on in, learn about the digital space, learn about making podcasts, use their production studio. There's so much going on here. You got to check it out. So thank you to the Lexington Public Library.
Yes.
Thank you to April Schultz of the Madison County Public Library. Stay tuned for our next episode, which is going to be in 2 weeks, and I have a special treat for you all. It's a little bit holiday themed, and holidays, I mean it's spooky season.
Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit about some activities next time. April, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
We loved having you here today for the Out There with Kim podcast, and we are going to see you all in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye now.
Bye.